Amen. Hi guys, welcome back to yet another episode of WedsTalk with Idah Nkosii, whereby I aim to inspire and empower. Hi, if you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel, WedsTalk. It's a segment with Idah Nkosii, whereby I aim to inspire and empower. I've already mentioned that, and we post those episodes on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. So let's get into today's video. But before we do that, right, please make sure that you subscribe, honey, and you turn that post notification bell on so that you can be notified whenever I upload. Okay, so let's get into the video. Hi guys, I'm so excited. So the last video of WedsTalk that I posted, it was a WedsTalk special whereby I did a Q&A, right? And if you know from that Q&A, I mentioned that I'm a student at Val University of Technology and I am doing my third year as an analytical chemistry student, right? So what we are talking about today, right? I'm going to be sharing my story of how I was not content with where God had placed me when I was doing my first year. So backup story is, when I was growing up, my dream was to be a doctor. I wanted to be Dr. Nkosii, right? And part of me growing up, right, I just realized that I have a passion in teaching, but I don't want to be a teacher, right? So when I was in grade 12, I realized before grade 12 that medicine is just, it's not a thing that I still want to go for, but because like it's been my dream and I still wanted to be Dr. Nkosii, then I had to be a doctor, right? But in grade 12 I just realized, Uguti, actually, you know what, I don't know what I want to do. Guys, if you can still ask me today, right now, here, I don't know what I want to do. But God is leading the way. Okay, so grade 12 applications time came. I applied. The university that I wanted to go to was the University of Cape Town, like since from a young age. Okay, since from a young age, and I still want to go there, child, and one day, okay. But yeah, I applied to UCT, but that did not work out because there were just some complications that happened, and then my application was just, so I cancelled UCT. And I was like, you know what, let me settle for UJ because I love UJ and I want to go for UJ. So I applied to UJ for complementary medicine because it's in the faculty of like science medicine, right? And I also applied for, at that time I did not know that I had applied for the emergency ward, and I just did not know what it was at that time. I did not do my research on that. I was just like, you know what, for a second option, let me add this, and then I added also biochemistry because I was also like, let me just explore in science, chemistry, and everything, right? And then I went on to Sefako and I applied for medicine, vets. I applied for chemical engineering, CPUT, yes, I applied for engineering too. And that was it, right? And then when it was September, right, my friend approached me and she was like, apply to Val, bro, apply to Val. And she was God sent. You know what, let me tell you, she was God sent. So the day before the applications for Val University closed, I applied on that day, right? And I remember rushing my dad to go pay the application fee and Yazin so that I can just apply. And I applied on last minute, guys. You know what? So okay, my dad went and paid the application fee, fine. So final exams, the results are coming out, we are happy. Now it's time for the universities to reply. Okay, now it's time for the universities to reply. So I was at UJ, right? I was accepted for the emergency wards, but I had to come and do it's a physical test or it's a what. So I got lazy. Spirit of laziness, say no more. Okay, but I got lazy and I was just like, you know what? I'm not going there, child. I'm not going there. So for the complementary medicine, you had to write like a test so that they can assess you, so that they can be able like to fully like accept you. I wrote the test and I got accepted for complementary medicine at UJ. But remember, I wanted to like do like medicine at Sefako, right? And I was willing to go to UJ, but at some point, guys, medicine was just in my like, right? So the way I had applied to Sefako, I'll put my physical form here. If I like tombe, so that, you know, if I get accepted, I'll post and be like, God, you the greatest, and also not. But yeah, I took a picture of that form. So I used the postal what to send my application form, right? Funny enough, I did not receive any communication back from the university. So I was still waiting. I remember me and my friend Unosipone, guys, we would update each other about what's happening in Sefako and what's not. But for me, I did not apply online. So I had no student number. I had no PIN for the portal. Yay, I remember this one at the time. I was like, you know what? I have to do something about this, right? I went into Google, searched for the student portal. I tried by all means, right? So I was on the system, but they did not send me my details so that I can be able to check my status. When I checked that, guys, you know what, I will try to, but I had deleted my emails and everything because I moved past that, but I will try to request, like I'll say forgot what so that I can put the thing here. Did they not accept me? And because I did not accept in time, because like I had not seen the thingy, the portal check and what's or not, now the space was full. So it was like no longer accepted, not accepted because like due to space now, right? Okay, fine. Was my heart not pumping in rocks, Kesana? That's name for chemical okay, that's for medicine. They rejected me for that one, and then for chemical engineering they put it like they placed me on wait list, right? Okay, fine. CPUT, it's still they still have not like they had still not replied at that time. Not me saying and Kasana, when I showed my dad what was happening at Sefako, I had no choice at that time because now I was waitlisted at Weds, and at UJ I'm accepted for complementary medicine, and at CPUT it's still loading, right? So my dad was like, you have to make a choice. At Val I still have not checked, right? I have not checked as yet because like I was like not interested in Val. I just wanted to go to like Boma UJ, and truth is I think we all dream about that, guys, honestly, right? Not unless if maybe you want to go like to different institutions, like from public institutions, then I would understand. So now at UJ, the thing is, remember when UJ and Wits was trending for deregistering other students because the school like or the faculties are full and what's or not. Sana, I remember being at Valne having to inquire about how do I get my registration fee, because if you're on bursary, if you pay for yourself a registration fee, obviously you're going to get refunded. Okay, fine. UJ is now also cancelled. Okay, and on biochemistry I was also waitlisted. I check for VET again now. I'm like, man, there's other schools that I applied to. No, I checked on VET. All right, VET. When I check for VET, I got accepted. Because remember when I applied at VET, it was last day. And at that time, guys, I did not know what was advanced. I applied for labor law. I applied for advanced in biotechnology. Ngithatha diploma when I'm going to apply for an advance at that time. Okay, so fine, I do that, I apply, and I just check ukuthi I had been accepted for labor law, but there's no longer space. Luckily, my friend was coming to Val, right? And I was just like, can we go with you so that like I can go to school and check and everything? And she's actually the one that suggested that, right? Guys, you know when you pray for friends, pray that God blesses you with friends that are like super genuine. Okay, so I went with my friend to Val. Yeah, I remember just resubmitting the courses that I wanted to do. I wanted to do biotechnology and I got accepted for analytical chemistry. Okay, moving to that, I also had to wait another week so that I can just wait for the system to work and everything. So it was a lot. I remember I was so depressed, and when I checked my portal when the registration was all done, because I'd already paid the registration fee, right? I was like, God, one thing about you. And my mom laughed at me so bad. She was like, Sissy, you were almost dying here thinking you're not gonna find school. But one thing about God, God is a God of provision, right? Okay, fine. I went to school and I was really so excited, because hey, I'm my first year student. Yeah, we're finally reaching for those dreams that we've been until I realized actually Uguti, I'm not happy where I am. I'm not happy with where I am, right? And at that time, I think I struggled with having to accept that this is what God has given me, right? And guys, I don't want to lie, I was not happy with where I was. Also because I think I had this expectations of how my uni life would be if I go to UJ or I go to Weds or I go to Safako and everything like that, So when I got into Val, it was just like not giving the experience that I wanted, okay? So I really don't want to lie. My first semester, I think I was just in a very not so good space because I would not even attend some of my classes. Okay, that still happens when the struggle. Okay, but that's obvious, guys. Okay, so I would intentionally not go to campus and just sleep the whole day, let my room be dark and sleep, right? And then when it's time for sleeping, when it's at night, I go to my friends, we chill until 3, we go sleep the whole day until 6. It was very toxic. It was very not so ne. And when now it's test time, right? I'm studying in rush. I have to know this and stuff. Luckily, I would pass, but not all of my tests, and then I would have to write a reassessment thingy, right? I remember second semester, I was on my way to campus. Guys, literally, I would have to force myself out of my bed to go attend practicals because I was for practicals, I'm not compromising. I'm not sabotaging this not for practicals. But for theory lectures and stuff, I'd go there when my heart wants to. Otherwise, and I had this thing, Yoguti, I'm gonna reapply to other schools for next year so that I can just leave this place. I wanted to leave Val so much that I don't know, guys. I just did not want to see myself here, right? Second semester, I remember I did not even know what was analytical chemistry the whole of the first semester. Second semester, I remember I was going to campus, and on my way there, I'm thinking, good team. But do you know that the opportunity, or rather what God has given you, some people don't have it. You are downplaying God's gift to you. You're downplaying God's blessing to you. Did I not feel guilty? I was like, you know what? it's either now or it's never, right? And it's better late than never, right? I was like, you know what, let me fix my ways before everything just does not work out, or before, you know, everything, I fail or something and everything. Guys, my second semester was literally life-changing for me. I wouldn't say life-changing because I was still stuck in some of my old habits. But at that point, I had realized, actually, the chance that God has given you, some children are wishing for it. Some kids don't have school. Some kids are still school hunting even today. You would find that some complete and they still take like 2 years gap searching for school, and then the third year, that's when they get school, you know. So I was just like, Nompumelelo, you're so ungrateful. And not only are we a bitch right now, but you're just so ungrateful. But I also don't want to blame myself too much, because I think the whole thing was just, oh guys, the transition, right? The transition for me, I think I just did not handle the change like in a very good way, or like I did not adapt very easily to the change, or like rather the transition, right? And so I was like, Sissy, fix your ways, right? Okay, first year was done, second year came. And okay, so anyways, I'm about to close it. So as I was still saying, that God's provision for me, God provided an understanding. Now, God provided understanding for me, and I started being more grateful for what He gave me. And I just wanted to say that if you currently you're facing what I faced, you started comparing yourself, you started not being grateful, remember that God is a God of provision, and He will provide understanding for you too. And sometimes not only does He just provide, we have to pray for understanding. Ask God to help you understand why you're there, because surely He has placed you there for a certain reason. And I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a certain reason. Now, in the book of Philippians 4, chapter 11, it says that, not that I am speaking of being in need, for I have learned that in whatever situation I am to be content, right? So wherever God has placed you, you may not be content with that, but you need to understand that God has placed you there for a certain reason. I've already mentioned that. And also, this reminds me of Joseph's story. Is it Joseph or Jacob? Let me check that quickly. Yes, it's Joseph. Jacob was the father. So Joseph's, right? His story, my story just reminds me of his story, of how God will place you in a place only for you to suffer, but only for Him to bring you success in that place, right? I'm not saying I suffered, guys. I'm really not saying I suffered. But when you start comparing yourself to your peers, and when you start not being content with what God has given you, you suffer. You suffer mentally, you suffer emotionally, and it gets physically too, child. Because guys, one thing about stressing about things that you also can't control, it's just not good for you, right? So stop doing that and start accepting what things are for, and actually working on that, and actually flowing with situations, rather, but just going about it, right? And learning to live in that moment. Because uzosola 5 years down the line, you realize, actually I could have done something with those years, but I was just sitting in the misery of, God, why did you not give me this? God, but I asked for this. And God is like, no, I want to give you this actually, and this is how you're going to get from here to here, right? So from me, I had to ask for understanding, and God provided understanding, and I started being grateful. Okay? And I hope this just teaches you something, that you need to be content with what you have and where you are and everything. Okay, and this is it for today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you come back for more. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that post notification bell on so that you can be notified whenever I upload. And thank you for tuning in. See you next time.